A special program today on the West Virginia Channel. We're partnering with Metro News Talkline to bring you Governor Jim Justice's appearance with host Hoppy Kercheval to take callers' questions in a town hall discussion. The governor's appearance today is to promote his Save Our State, or SOS initiative. As outlined in his State of the State address, it would raise revenue by tax and fee increases, a half-cent increase in the sales tax from 6% to 6.5%, increasing vehicle license fees from $30 to $50, a 0.2% tax on businesses, 10 cents a gallon increase on gasoline. As proposed by the governor, these increases would be in effect for 3 years. The revenue would be used for infrastructure and tourism, and the governor says it would create 48,000 jobs. He'll be taking West Virginians' questions now.
Good morning. Welcome to a very special edition of Metro News Talkline. It's a radio town hall with Governor Jim Justice, and we are ready to go.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
Holy smoke.
From the studios of the West Virginia Radio Corporation and the Metro News Radio Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful radio show in West Virginia. This is Metro News Talk Live with Hoppy Kercheval.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Hoppy. You're on.
Good morning. Welcome to Talkline on the Metro News Radio Network all across the great state of West Virginia. Hoppy Kercheval with you, broadcasting live from the Capitol, from the Governor's Conference Room. A very special edition of Talkline, and this is a radio town hall with Governor Jim Justice. And we talked with the governor's office about a week or two ago about doing this. They approached us, and we said, we like the idea. We kind of went back and forth, and we came up with this concept that the governor would come on for a whole hour and take phone calls from you at 1-800-765-8255, or you can text me at 304-TALK-304. We'll try to get in as many as we can. I'm going to kind of pull back and turn things over to the governor just to talk with you. And we thought we'd try to keep this oriented to the budget and to things related to the budget and things related to the governor's road plan in this legislative session. So try to keep it in that general area. And to the governor's credit, they said in that nothing's off limits. They've not said don't talk about this. Their only request was that we try to keep it oriented to things related to the budget. I said, okay, sure, that's fine. So, Governor, we're ready to go. How you doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Radio Land. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Got my headset on. I'm dialed in.
All right, good to go. We're on Metro News. We're on streaming on Metro News. We're on the West Virginia channel of West Virginia Public Broadcasting. We're on the governor's website, so we're all over the state. Before I get to the calls, I do want to ask you about something that you were just starting to push today, Governor, that is designed to, in your opinion, I think, force a hand on the budget because it would limit pay, as I understand it, would limit pay of lawmakers to 5 days in a special session. Fill me in on that.
Well, last year, everybody knows, we messed around and didn't get it done, and then we ended up costing our taxpayers of our state $600,000 plus. How in the world can we be here for the amount of time that we're here and not get our budget passed? I mean, it just doesn't make one hill of beans of sense to me. I'm open-minded. I'll listen to a lot of ideas and everything, but at the end of the rainbow, if we're going to have to stay, and I'm willing to stay here 24 hours a day. I mean, that's whatever it takes to get it done, I'm willing to get it done. I am not willing for our taxpayers who are hurting like crazy to let us just waller around here and everything forevermore, not get it done, come back in a special session and spend more and more time and more money when other states don't have, a lot of states don't have anywhere close to the amount of time that we have to get the job done. And there's no excuse for us not getting it done.
So this would limit the pay to 5 days.
5 days. 5 days, and then they're here for free. I mean, for crying out loud, if we can't get it done in 5 days, beyond 5 days, and if they want, and we've had people step up in the past and did not take their pay last year, and say, no, that's not very fair. It's not fair to the taxpayers for me to be compensated when we can't get our job done.
Okay, well, let's go to the phones at 1-800-765-8255. Clay from Shepherdstown, you're first up with your question for the governor. Hi, Clay. Go ahead. You're on with the governor.
Good morning, Hoppy. Thank you to West Virginia Metro News for giving me this opportunity to speak to the governor. Good morning, Governor. My sons and I work in the West Virginia film industry. From July 2007 through December 2016, West Virginia Film Industry Investment Tax Credit Program participants spent more than $54 million on wages, goods, and services. As of December 2014, the program has produced a return of $37 million on that investment. More than 4,700 West Virginia businesses and tens of thousands of West Virginia labor hours have been utilized by program participants. We need the film office to facilitate the growth of this revenue stream. Eliminating the program would not return money to our state's coffers. The program does not award monies or rebates. Instead, it provides tax credits based on a percentage of money spent in our state by participants. Therefore, no money is allocated from the state budget for the program, and we will lose millions of dollars generated annually if the program is cut. Producers will go to other states with incentive programs. West Virginia provides tens of millions of dollars in tax incentives and tax breaks to bricks and mortar industry every year. Why cut a revenue neutral program that is creating jobs and putting millions of dollars in state coffers annually?
Well, it's just a matter of just this. You know, there are those, and I'm not in this boat. There are those that demand, you know, that we find ways to cut here and there and everywhere. You know, you make a very good point. You know, at the end of the rainbow, your point is, why cut something that has an opportunity or potential to bring additional revenues to our state, additional jobs? Why cut? Why walk away? Why turn our backs on something that genuinely could bring goodness? And your point is where we're at all over the place. It is the exact same thing everywhere. And I don't want to go on and on about this, but the net of the whole thing is we have taken away all the low-hanging fruit. The easy stuff's gone. I mean, that's all there is to it. Now, you know, there's certain things that are at play that are becoming even more difficult. And then there's things that are going to have to be at play, like, seriously. I mean, and as bizarre as it may be, is closing our state parks, you know, closing our universities other than Marshall and WVU. I mean, and it goes on and on and on, getting rid of Promise Scholarship, you know, really walking away from our vets. And it goes, and what I'm saying is, I'm a believer that there's a pathway out of this. I want everybody to understand, I am not for any part of raising taxes to grow a bureaucracy. I'm not for any part of that. I am basically for net lowering taxes because it will help us. But your point is very valid. And you know, and all I can say is we're in a negotiation standpoint now, and I hope to goodness that we do not walk away from a legitimate possibility and a legitimate point that you make.
Clay, thanks for the call. Let's go to Jay in Alderson. Jay, welcome in to a special edition of Metro News Talk Line. You're on with Governor Jim Justice. Go ahead, Jay.
Yes, sir. Good morning. My question for the governor is this. Cutting services is a painful thing. How did last year's cut to forestry affect the governor's thoughts when working on this budget? And right now we have a state forestry agency that's not even looking after logging operations. Is there a plan for forestry?
Well, I hope to goodness that there's a major plan for forestry, and I was adamantly against the forestry cuts. I think that was crazy, to tell you the truth. I mean, the dollars that it saved, you know, had to be considered insignificant. And, you know, there's so many opportunities. And West Virginia is 77% forested. And you've heard my plan, you know, my idea and you know, about going to the federal government and applying for a subsidy that would bring manufacturing jobs beyond belief to West Virginia from the standpoint of the greatness that our forests are doing for us every day. You know, we need to protect our forest beyond belief, and our foresters do a great job. And And you know, to walk away and go in a different direction, it's just ludicrous. I mean, you talk about being penny wise and pound poor. I am not for any part of what's happened in regard to that.
Jay, thank you. Let's go to Ron in Wheeling, who wants to talk about possible revenue from marijuana legalization. Hi, Ron. Go ahead. You're on with Governor Jim Justice.
Hoppy, Governor, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Sure.
For the last 5-6 years, we've had medical cannabis legislation introduced. It's been shot down many times. We've seen in other states across this country many of the issues that they're facing, addiction, the employment, the jobs. They've passed legislation and are reaping benefits for the taxes from recreational and medical cannabis. With the addiction problem, the medical cannabis is absolutely necessary. I do believe everybody can agree with that. The recreational with the taxes. But it's also the side industries that I'm interested in. Someone had just mentioned the forestry. We could support that forestry with this. I just wanted to get your thoughts on how you felt about medical cannabis and the legislation that's in place right now. It's been introduced this session, and recreational cannabis. Thanks a lot.
Governor?
Well, I appreciate the question, and I can address that very bluntly by saying, in regard to medical marijuana, you know, I would defer to the experts, and that'd be the docs. I am not opposed in any way, shape, form, or fashion. If there's a way that we can help patients that are really struggling, and that would be a methodology, I would be for it. And but I think, you know, we've got to get some more information from the medical community as to what to do there. As far as recreational marijuana, I cannot go there. And the reason I can't go there is just simply this. You know, we would really primarily be going there from the standpoint of a revenue driver to our state. Now, we got a big-time drug problem in West Virginia today. And you talk about running before you walk. We've got to get our drug problem under control, and to add another component to the potential problem that exists today, I could not be for that.
Thank you for the call, Ron. Let's go to Mike in Weston. Mike, welcome in. You want to talk about the budget and the lottery. Go ahead, Mike. You're on with the governor.
Hi, good morning, Governor, and Hoppy. How are you all this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning. I would like to ask you a couple of questions regarding the West Virginia Lottery Commission. You know, we've had the Gaming Commission and so forth here in the state for approximately 15 plus years. It generates in $500 to $600 million in revenue for the state each year. Prior to the legalization of gambling here in the state, we didn't have that revenue stream. I would like to know how that money's being allocated, where it's being spent, and where that revenue stream actually goes within our state.
Well, I don't know that I can identify exactly where every dollar of it goes. I know a lot of it goes into education, and a lot of it goes in a lot of other different directions. And
Senior
everything.
services, promise scholarships, those kind of places. It's divided up 3 or 4 different places.
No. But I can tell you that if we didn't have that revenue today, we would be up Duke Creek and a long ways. I mean, you know, we've got a hole in the bucket here and a crisis beyond belief. And the people, I've got to say this, the people in West Virginia, nor I, prior to being elected, we just really don't realize the level of the direness and the level of the brink that we're on. And I just can't emphasize enough that, do you know, if we don't watch out, we're going to awaken to a spiral downward that we can't stop. I mean, it is legitimate that we could be in a situation to where who knows what can happen. I mean, we could get into a situation to where we can't even genuinely provide for the state police. I mean, it is, and I have never been one to scream and cry wolf. You've not heard that from me. And I would challenge any of you, anywhere, to find something that I have done where I've not told the truth to the best of my ability. I make a lot of mistakes, and I then go back and I try to fix the mistakes. But I am telling you, we as West Virginians, a lot of us, you know, can head to Wendy's this afternoon and get us a chicken sandwich and all seems okay. But at the same time, at the end of the rainbow, you do not understand the magnitude of the problem of how the services function within the state. And when all of a sudden there is a total breakdown of services, we are really going to be in trouble. So that's all I can say.
Thanks for the call. We're going to take a quick break here and come back, and your calls for the governor. Talk directly to the governor about things related to the budget. 1-800-765-8255, 1-800-765-TALK. More with Governor Jim Justice on this Radio Town Hall on Metro News right after this.
West Virginia.
Hi, I'm Senator Shelley Moore Capito, and you are watching West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
4 years ago, we had about 125 stations. Now we have over 200. We're on the ascendancy. We're actually growing and reaching more people. So I think one thing we do is contribute to the changing of the image of West Virginia. We're more like a postcard or like a billboard or like a beacon that's, West Virginia, West Virginia. And West Virginia, good time, good quality, fun stuff. Come and visit. When people come to West Virginia, thoughtful people come to West Virginia, fun-loving kind of people, open-minded people, they go, this place is great. How come I don't know about this? You don't have to sell them anymore. You can say, have a good time.
Mountain Stage. See its value at wvpublic.org.
For the government to embrace a memorial to an individual who did not become president was unprecedented.
To think that my brother is standing amidst presidents.
He opened the eyes of America. And it's a monument to the power of love to change the world.
With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope.
That's Sunday at 8 p.m.
Hi, I'm Susan Hogan, Chairman of the Friends Board. I believe West Virginia Public Broadcasting is an indispensable resource for education, news and public affairs, emergency communications, and economic development. It's West Virginia's calling card to the world. Many have asked to help during these uncertain times. Your response has been overwhelming, and here's how. Become a member of the Friends of West Virginia Public Broadcasting. Be a sustainer at $5 a month or more. Your support right now couldn't be more important. For more information, go to wvpublic.org to learn about the value West Virginia Public Broadcasting brings to our state. Together, we can ensure our future. Thank you.
The first regular session of the 83rd West Virginia Legislature has convened, and you can watch the proceedings on the West Virginia channel. Tune in to floor sessions from the State Senate and House of Delegates as lawmakers speak about and debate the issues before them. Watch your lawmakers at work, weekdays at 11 on the West Virginia channel.
Now you can take West Virginia Public Broadcasting wherever you go on the new WVPB smartphone app. Watch your favorite programs, listen to live radio and podcasts, and find the latest news all in one place. Search for WVPB in iTunes or Google Play or at wvpublic.org.
You're watching the West Virginia channel from West Virginia Public Broadcasting. And you're watching the West Virginia channel in partnership with Metro News Talkline and host Hoppy Kercheval, a town hall discussion with Governor Jim Justice. The governor would like to talk about budget matters today. The governor's proposals, as he has outlined them in this State of the State address, have not been well received by the state legislature.
Talkline here, Radio Town Hall with Governor Jim Justice, 1-800-765-8255, 1-800-765-TALK. This was actually faxed to his governor from a DOH worker in Elkins. Richard says, in the DOH we have a deputy, to the deputy, to the deputy, etc., to the commissioner. Do we really need all these deputies?
Well, I can promise you this, that Tom Smith is working on those issues. We are eliminating positions, and we're eliminating positions in a lot of places. You know, we're eliminating positions in DEP, you know, DHHR, you know, the highways. We're working on that every day. and we'll get that as lean and as best as we possibly can.
Susie from Morgantown is on the line. Susie, thanks for calling in. You want to talk to the governor about proposal to raise the DMV fees. Susie, go ahead. You're on with the governor.
Good morning. Good morning, Governor Hoppy.
Hi, Susie. Good
yes, when I heard you talking and sharing about things that you would raise or tax, my heart sank because I live on an extreme fixed income. You're talking about just going out for a sandwich tonight. That'd be a luxury to me. And when you said to raise it like $20, I thought, does he not realize to some people $20 might as well be $200? Because when you take utilities get raised every year, my rent has gotten raised every year, the price of stuff gets raised every year. $20 may not seem like a lot, but to people like me, it seems like a lot when you add in everything that every year goes up and goes up. And you talk about the tax on soft drinks, but I don't hear no talk about taxes on things like alcohol, like beer and those kind of things. And so, and I even called your office and left a message about, think about people that $20 is a lot for them. So what do? You start taking away from your food because, like I said, I live on a very fixed income, and I have a daughter in college. And so, what about people that $20 is a lot for them?
Well, Susie, let me just say this. People could portray me a lot of different ways. I started with my grandparents not ever having indoor plumbing. They died without indoor plumbing. I truly am one that hears and identifies with all the pains of all the people. And I absolutely not in any way, shape, form, or fashion would ever think that $20 doesn't mean an awful lot to an awful lot of people. And I got it. Now, you can believe that or not believe that, and that's up to you. But I would like to say just this. Where do we turn? What do we do? I am trying to put West Virginia on a pathway. What have we done? Have things gotten better for you in the last 3 or 4 years? Do you realize what we have done within our state? We have drained our rainy day to the point of brink. We are downgraded, on our bonds, and we are sitting here, with nowhere to turn. You've got a $500 million deficit, and if you constrict more people are going to leave our state, and then you're going to have less revenue and a bigger hole. Now, what are you going to do? I am trying to put you on a pathway to where there's jobs, there's opportunities, there's a reduction in drugs. We're going to build highways. I am trying to put you on a pathway, and I can tell you point blank, I really mean it when I say I care about the $20. I genuinely care, but I do not know where to turn that you're not going to cripple our state. And I don't mean you, Susie. I mean us as legislators are going to have to turn our backs on those that are hurting beyond belief today if we don't do something. I hate it like crazy to introduce for you to have to pay that additional $20. I hate it and everything, but I do not know where else to turn.
Susie, thank you for the call. We're going to take a quick break at the bottom of the hour from Metro News. When we come back, some more questions for the governor. You can talk to him directly by calling 1-800-765-8255, 1-800-765-TALK. Also, you can text me. And if you text me, I'll try to get to as many as possible. We really want to focus on phone calls today, but I'll get to some text as well. And I do want to try to stick to budget-related matters. I know some of the callers wanted to get into other things, and maybe if we can do another show on another day, if this works out, we can talk about some other things. But today, primarily, we are relating it to the budget, his road plan, and things that pertain to that. So we're going to come back here in just a moment, and 3 minutes more with the governor coming up in 3 minutes. This is Talk Line on Metro News. Metro News is the voice of West Virginia.
Hi, I'm Senator Shelley Moore Capito, and you are watching West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
4 years ago, we had about 125 stations. Now we have over 200. We're on the ascendancy. We're actually growing and reaching more people. So I think one thing we do is contribute to the changing of the image of West Virginia. We're more like a postcard or like a billboard or like a beacon that's, West Virginia, West Virginia. And West Virginia, good time, good quality, fun stuff. Come and visit. When people come to West Virginia, thoughtful people come to West Virginia, fun-loving kind of people, open-minded people, they go, this place is great. How come I don't know about this? You don't have to sell them anymore. You can say, have a good time. But to get them here, that's the tricky part, because they hear, why would I want to go to West Virginia? There's a lot of reasons why. And they're the same reasons you want to go to some places you know about, except for we're less crowded and we're more human.
Mountain Stage. See its value at wvpublic.org.
Follow the footsteps of the first American settlers. Explore the battles and byways that created the Shenandoah Valley. Take a spellbinding journey through the history, communities, and events that have shaped the Appalachian region and continue to enrich the lives and heritage of its people today. Join us for a road trip to history.
That's Sunday at 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm Susan Hogan, Chairman of the Friends Board. I believe West Virginia Public Broadcasting is an indispensable resource for education, news and public affairs, emergency communications, and economic development. Many have asked to help. Here's how. Hit the donate button right now. Become a sustainer at $5 a month or more. Your support couldn't be more important. Together, we can ensure our future. Thank you.
For the government to embrace a memorial to an individual who did not become president was unprecedented.
To think that my brother is standing amidst presidents.
He opened the eyes of America, and it's a monument to the power of love to change the world.
With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope.
That's Sunday at 8 p.m. Now you can take West Virginia Public Broadcasting wherever you go on the new WVPB smartphone app. Watch your favorite programs, listen to live radio and podcasts, and find the latest news all in one place. Search for WVPB in iTunes or Google Play or at wvpublic.org.
Welcome back. This is a special radio town hall with Governor Jim Justice, taking your phone calls at 1-800-765-8255. Let's go to Al in Sutton on a budget-related question. Hi, Al. Go ahead. You're on with the governor.
Good morning, Governor. My name is Al Sergi. I'm a business owner in Sutton, and we are in the advertising business. And basically, my question concerns the professional services that are being going to be involved in sales tax, as the Senate Bill 335 is now proposing to do to try to raise more money. And I believe that your proposal also includes adding professional services, and in particular, advertising is what I'm going to focus on in my question. I've done research. There's been 40 states in the country that have tried to do sales tax. Only one actually carried it out, and that's Florida a few years back in the late 90s. And what ended up happening is after 6 months of them trying to do it, they had to end up repealing it because it cost them more to process compliance, and actually income was lost by a lot of businesses, and the advertising started to dry up, all this within 6 months. So, you got to remember a couple things. This would be attacking our ability to make the money. It's one thing if you want to try taxing us when we already have it, and an income tax side of things, but when you get to the beginning of it and curtail our ability to make money, and advertisers, we get them from out of state and draw them in, and what happens is they'll just bypass us and go somewhere else. Kroger, why spend money advertising in this state? They'll advertise in North Carolina, Virginia, and all the other places they got Krogers at. Same thing with McDonald's.
So let me get to the question. So Al, I just want to.
And it's going to hurt the state more than help it. You originally, I spoke with you when you were campaigning. You originally said it's a stupid thing to do, but now I'm not hearing that anymore, and I don't see that. Any exemption will continue for advertising. Will you help keep the current tax exemption for advertising so that all businesses could flourish in West Virginia?
Well, Al, let me just say this. First of all, I've got to comment real quickly on Susie that was on before and everything, and say this. Susie, I have proposed, raising the tax on beer, but I missed that before. But Al, I would like to say this to you. The concept. Let's talk about the concept of everything. I think we've got, as West Virginians, to be all in. Everybody has got to participate in trying to get us out of this mess. I mean, I cannot say enough for just the fact that the magnitude of the mess, this is not like you're going to be able to cut back from 3 people that are putting a light bulb in and it's wasteful, let's cut back to 1 and get there. We're not going to be able to do that. I mean, our state is in such a crisis right now that it is going to take major, major action. Now, just listen to me, Al, and listen to me really good. The left side of the equation, I don't care how we get there. I don't care how we get there. If we can come up with responsible reduction in waste without crippling the patient, I'm for. I am absolutely for. If we come up, whether it be soda pop, cigarettes, half a penny on sales tax, whether it become a small commercial activities tax on business, I don't care how we get there, but I think we ought to all feel like we're all in. I would even propose the people that have an income of $250,000 or greater, maybe they pay $500 a year into a special SOS, Save Our State Fund. And that goes into this side to help us be able to balance the budget. I do not care how we get there, but I do care that we get there without crippling our state to the point that we can't recover, meaning we don't eliminate our parks, we don't eliminate our schools, we don't eliminate Promise Scholarship, we don't drive more people away from us. And the other side of the equation is really simple. It's just this simple. We've got to come up with a way to generate big-time growth, and big-time growth immediate. Now, the word is immediate. We have got to have jobs, immediate jobs. You cannot sell potential. You cannot sell opportunity. We have got to have immediate jobs. And my other side of the equation says roads. And roads that are already engineered and ready to go, let the roads. Be able to bond the roads and let the roads. It creates 48,000 new jobs. You can almost immediately take the payroll tax dollars from 48,000 new jobs and get rid of every new tax over here on the left-hand side immediately. So I said, sunset those taxes. Give me 24 months. For crying out loud, I don't care. Give me 12 months. But you've got to do the right side has got to be immediate jobs, not potential, immediate jobs. And roads are our ticket beyond belief. And the left side of the equation says, balance the budget without crippling us, and I don't care how we get there, we just got to get there.
Let's go to John in Mineral Wells. John, welcome in. You're on the air with Governor Jim Justice. Go ahead, John.
Hi, Hoppy. Hi, Governor. Big Jim. Hey, wasn't sure about this on the budget, but I didn't know if you'd able to do anything about the coal miners' pension and their insurance that's always up in limbo.
Well, let me say this, and this is going to be, generality. We cannot walk away and forget what the contribution of coal's been to all of us. You know, the saying, don't forget who brung you to the dance. Well, coal brung us to the dance, and we should always remember that, and we should always work as diligently as we possibly can to try to help all those miners in every way we possibly can, you know, whether it be their insurance or help them more than anything, getting them back to work. And I absolutely am on that like stink on you know what, and I'm going to try with all in me to stay after that and accomplish just that.
I think actually that miners' pension, you've talked about the UMWA health benefits, that I know they're working on that at the federal level.
Federal
I
level,
think
that's
moving
exactly
along.
right.
Let me turn that around, actually, Governor, and ask you to explain a little bit about your fluctuating severance tax proposal on coal. Why don't you explain that?
Well, it's just as simple. It's almost like a third world country, you know, that we are in West Virginia. You know, first it was timber, you know, then it was coal, then it was, now it's natural gas. And if we don't watch out, you know, we're going to be, you know, our resources leave and we don't have value added left behind. And so basically I am just saying just this is, when our coal prices are so low, $30 or lower, you know, let's significantly lower the severance tax, and you got to understand. I am a real believer. Everybody pulls the rope. Everybody runs across the finish line together. So if our companies are really suffering, let's try to help them. But on the other side of the equation, and I know a lot about the coal side, believe me, you know, I've been in the coal business forevermore and everything. But on the other side, if coal prices dramatically move to the upside, the profitability becomes obscene. And we do not need, as a state, to have $200 coal prices and a 5% severance tax at that point, because the profitability, nobody's cost is in excess of $80 a ton. And so all of a sudden you've got a profitability with a 5% tax built in of $80. And you've got a profitability of $120 a ton. Who in the world would complain other than a hog by saying, no, you need to pay another 5%, and that would give our state great riches and great abilities to do a lot of things. I say help them when things are bad, but for crying out loud, we've got to capture more income when things are good. Gas the same way.
Governor, real quick before the break, things have gotten a little bit chippy lately in the legislature. So some of it may have started when you called lawmakers knuckleheads. Ryan Fern, who's the majority leader of the state Senate, has been tweeting a little bit. He tweeted a couple days ago, he said, advice to the governor when meeting with GOP senators, use rocket ships, rainbows, or unicorns, and the conversation is over. Facts only. Any response to that?
Well, you know, Senator Ferns, you know, he's been at tweeting and doing this and doing that stuff forevermore. And to be perfectly honest, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. I mean, for crying out loud, but it really gets down to just this. I mean, you know, he's a young guy. I hate to say this, but it's just the fact. You know, I've done more in my little finger for West Virginia and West Virginians than Ryan Ferns has done, and I know he's ambitious about his political career, and I'm not ambitious about my political career. I'm ambitious about helping West Virginia. I don't need to be sending out tweets and sending mud. And to be perfectly honest, it's almost like a grizzly bear walking through the woods and a poodle walking behind him, just barking and nipping and all this kind of stuff for nothing. If I were, you know, and basically at some point in time, if I'm the poodle, I'm concerned that the grizzly bear's not, at some point in time, it's just going to get tired of all the tweeting and the little crap that's going on and turn around and eat your ass. I mean, I hate to say that, and forgive me for saying that, but that's just how I feel. I mean, it's pointless. It's absolutely pointless to just stand and just throw little mud and daggers at one another. We got a big time problem, We don't need to be politicians that are looking for the next job or looking for the next level and flaunting ourselves and everything else. We got a big time problem, and we got to fix it. And I don't hear any solutions to fixing it. You know, I got badgered like crazy for speaking in generalities or speaking and not coming with specifics. Well, who's coming with specifics now? I'm the one that's coming with specifics and pathways and ideas. And what I'm saying is that's what we got to do, and we got to get at doing it. We got to get at doing it. And the other thing I would say is this. You can't imagine the people, you know, that come to me from Ryan Fern's own party and apologized to me for this ridiculous behavior. I mean, their own party is embarrassed by some of the things that we do where we got people that are throwing rocks and just little old nitpicking nothing. And the bottom line of the whole thing is how I see it is just this. I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat or Independent. All I care about is we're all West Virginians. We got to fix a problem, and we got to get somewhere.
Governor Jim Justice, Radio Town Hall. More calls after this. This is Talkline on Metro News.
Hi, I'm Senator Shelley Moore Capito, and you are watching West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
4 years ago, we had about 125 stations. Now we have over 200. We're on the ascendancy. We're actually growing and reaching more people. So I think one thing we do is contribute to the changing of the image of West Virginia. We're more like a postcard or like a billboard or like a beacon that's, West Virginia, West Virginia. And West Virginia, good time, good quality, fun stuff. Come and visit. When people come to West Virginia, thoughtful people come to West Virginia, fun-loving kind of people, open-minded people, they go, this place is great. How come I don't know about this? You don't have to sell them anymore. You can say, have a good time.
Mountain Stage. See its value at wvpublic.org.
For the government to embrace a memorial to an individual who did not become president was unprecedented.
To think that my brother is standing amidst presidents.
He opened the eyes of America, and it's a monument to the power of love to change the world.
With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope.
That's Sunday at 8 p.m.
Hi, I'm Susan Hogan, Chairman of the Friends Board. I believe West Virginia Public Broadcasting is an indispensable resource for education, news and public affairs, emergency communications, and economic development. It's West Virginia's calling card to the world. Many have asked to help during these uncertain times. Your response has been overwhelming, and here's how. Become a member of the Friends of West Virginia Public Broadcasting. Be a sustainer at $5 a month or more. Your support right now couldn't be more important. For more information, go to wvpublic.org to learn about the value West Virginia Public Broadcasting brings to our state. Together, we can ensure our future. Thank you.
The first regular session of the 83rd West Virginia Legislature has convened, and you can watch the proceedings on the West Virginia Channel. Tune in to floor sessions from the State Senate and House of Delegates as lawmakers speak about and debate the issues before them. Watch your lawmakers at work, weekdays at 11 on the West Virginia Channel.
Now you can take West Virginia Public Broadcasting wherever you go on the new WVPB smartphone app. Watch your favorite programs, listen to live radio and podcasts, and find the latest news all in one place. Search for WVPB in iTunes or Google Play or at wvpublic.org.
You're watching the West Virginia Channel from West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
Back to the Radio Town call with Governor Jim Justice, and let's go to John in Clay. John, welcome in. Glad you called. You're on the air with Governor Jim Justice.
Yes, I would just like to ask the governor about his furlough plan. It was in the paper this morning, how he plans to run that. I mean, is it going to be like a voluntary 1 day a month, or does he plan on laying them off for a week at a time? 1 day a month from state employees isn't going to hurt too bad, but weeks at a time is going to put a hardship on people that work for the state.
Well, John, listen. I don't want to furlough anybody for a day, a year. I mean, you got to understand. This becomes just like our bond downgrading. This is an emergency, situation. It's an emergency practice. I've tried to come up with a way that people could be laid off without losing their benefits, without losing their hospitalization or whatever, and an emergency, vehicle or whatever put in place to where the governor could act upon that. I mean, right now, I hate to say this, but and this sounds like you're throwing stones. People got to understand, I didn't create this mess. I mean, I walked into this mess. Now, I ran for governor because I love our state and I want goodness. But when you walk into this thing, you would have at least expected that now, between now and July, from now to July, that things would have been okay. Well, they aren't okay. We've got a $123 million shortfall between now and July. Well, something's got to be done. That's why that the furlough bill is being put in place to where I could react if we have to react, but it just goes this way all across the board. And I keep asking people, ask your senators and ask your delegates, why haven't we done anything? I mean, for crying out loud, this is a crisis beyond belief. And throwing mud at Jim Justice's pathway to get us on a path to growth and real prosperity, how fair is that? Jim Justice wasn't here when all this happened. Jim Justice is just trying to find a way to help.
Amanda wants to talk about your SOS plan, the $105 million you want to raise for economic development in West Virginia. Hi, Amanda. Go ahead. You're on with the governor.
Hi, good morning. Thanks, Hoppy, and thanks, Governor, for giving me the opportunity this morning.
Thank you.
We're really excited. Recreationalists, sportsmen and women, nature lovers, we're all really excited about the SOS's planned focus on tourism as an economic driver. We think that supporting and promoting the best of West Virginia, our rivers and streams, our wildlife, and our special public lands is really a big step forward. However, with all due respect, Governor, your words and actions reveal a potential threat to the viability of the tourism industry. And what I'm talking about is reduced environmental protection and enforcement. We know that tourists won't come to a poisoned landscape, something the city of Charleston and the broader Whitewater community experienced after the Freedom Industries bill. So, Governor Justice, explain this risk and expand on how you plan to protect West Virginia's natural resources so your SOS plan and West Virginia may succeed.
Well, Amanda, I'd lead off by saying this. Nobody loves nature more than me. I love to hunt. I love to fish. Actually, to tell you the truth, if you're with me tomorrow, some way, somehow, I'll slip out in the woods with my bird dog and be grouse hunting. The long and the short of the whole thing is just this. We do have an overreach, a regulation overreach. And some of our regulations need to leave, but at the same time, we do not need to do anything that's going to be a detriment to our environment, our waters, in any way. Now, I truly believe we can mine coal and we can have natural gas and we can function in a society. And we can do it in a prudent and proper way. Now, back to your tourism thing and the SOS money, and the SOS money is just there as a built-in surplus. We don't have to have all that money now, and we can cut that back to spread it out over 3 years and use 35, 35, and 35. And maybe there's a way to even do that without impacting the budget in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But we've got to find a way to market West Virginia, too. You know, we don't need to awaken every day to hear, come to Michigan, pure Michigan, and all that stuff. I mean, for gosh sakes 11, you know, what we need to do is market ourselves. Tourism could explode in West Virginia. But we got to have a way for the people to get here, and that ties back into the roads. So there's all kinds of opportunities right at our fingertips, but believe me, B, I'm not going to do anything to the detriment of our waters and our environment.
Governor Jim Justice will come back. Couple quick calls remaining as time is gotten very short very quickly when our special radio town hall with the governor continues right after this.
Fact.
Hi, I'm Senator Shelley Moore Capito, and you are watching West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
4 years ago, we had about 125 stations. Now we have over 200. We're on the ascendancy. We're actually growing and reaching more people. So I think one thing we do is contribute to the changing of the image of West Virginia. We're more like a postcard or like a billboard or like a beacon that's, you know, West Virginia, West Virginia. And West Virginia, good time, good quality, fun stuff. Come and visit. When people come to West Virginia, thoughtful people come to West Virginia, fun-loving kind of people, open-minded people, they go, this place is great. How come I don't know about this? You don't have to sell them anymore. You can say, have a good time. But to get them here, that's the tricky part, because they hear, why would I want to go to West Virginia? There's a lot of reasons why. And they're the same reasons you want to go to some places you know about, except for we're less crowded and we're more human.
Mountain Stage. See its value at wvpublic.org.
Follow the footsteps of the first American settlers. Explore the battles and byways that created the Shenandoah Valley. Take a spellbinding journey through the history, communities, and events that have shaped the Appalachian region and continue to enrich the lives and heritage of its people today. Join us for A Road Trip to History.
That's Sunday at 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm Susan Hogan, Chairman of the Friends Board. I believe West Virginia Public Broadcasting is an indispensable resource for education, news and public affairs, emergency communications, and economic development. Many have asked to help. Here's how. Hit the donate button right now. Become a sustainer at $5 a month or more. Your support couldn't be more important. Together, we can ensure our future. Thank you.
For the government to embrace a memorial to an individual who did not become president was unprecedented.
To think that my brother is standing amidst presidents.
He opened the eyes of America, and it's a monument to the power of love to change the world.
With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope.
That's Sunday at 8 p.m. Now you can take West Virginia Public Broadcasting wherever you go on the new WVPB smartphone app. Watch your favorite programs, listen to live radio and podcasts, and find the latest news all in one place. Search for WVPB in iTunes or Google Play or at wvpublic.org.
We literally have 60 seconds. Sue in Weston. Sue, go ahead. You're on with the governor. We got 1 minute. So go ahead, Sue, real quick.
Hi, Governor. I want to ask you a question there about the budget. I know that we have a shortfall in the budget, but you owe the state of West Virginia over $4 million in back taxes. Do you not think if you pay your back taxes that $4 million and some odd dollars that you owe in back taxes would help that out some?
Governor, we got 30 seconds.
Well, Sue, listen, I appreciate your question. I want to say this, that I walked away from my businesses, and I've got other people that are handling this, but I want you to know just this. You don't need to worry about me. Every single obligation and tax that I would owe in any way, shape, form, or fashion, we'll take care of it. But the other thing, Sue, please understand just this. We pay tens of millions of dollars of taxes, and we have things from time to time that come up that are disputes that we got to get ironed out. and that's what the people are doing. But don't worry about me. They'll be paid.
Governor, come back. We'll talk about education next time.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Hoppy, thank you so much.
All right. This is Talk Line on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Welcome to the West Virginia Legislature on the West Virginia Channel. Here's a live look in the House of Delegates chamber at the state capitol in Charleston. There are no bills up for passage on third reading in the House today. There are several bills on second reading. That's the floor amendment stage. House Bill 2001 relating to ethics and transparency in government to modify the ethics and purchasing laws to provide more transparency in government. House Bill 2028 relating to the venue for suits and other actions against the state, allowing a plaintiff or petitioner to file a claim or petition against the state, a state officer or state agency in the circuit court of a county in which the